agree with Octavia. I mean, she was put in charge of a lot of people, and we saw in the finale the insecurities she had about that, and she was a character who was so much sort of on the fringe and literally had to hide for most of her life. What do you think it's been like for her to now be in the spotlight in this way after all the sort of, I'm the one not looking?
I think Octavia doesn't have a clue what she's doing, but she doesn't want to, set off the chaos with the 1,200 people in the bunker, because it was her idea to have one crew and have this mixed bag of clans. And of course, they're not wanting to let go of previous animosities that they have towards one another. So just similar to the way she was trapped under the floor in the Ark, the same thing is kind of going in the bunker, where, you can't just run around and break the laws and cause riots. And in season 5, you'll see, in fact, what Octavia's plan is to keep the peace and how she reprimands others in her own special way for stepping out of line.
Ooh, special way.
Special Octavia way.
One episode that really stands out to me this past season, in the entire series actually, is Die All, Die Merrily, which is the Octavia in the Conclave episode. In typical 100 fashion, it was also pretty merciless. We lost a lot of notable characters. Jason, at what point developing season 4 did you know that you wanted to do that story, that episode?
Pretty early on. That was kind of, every season we have these tentpole moments that we're aiming for. That was the big one of the big ones last year. It was written by Aaron and Wade, Ginsberg and McIntyre, great writers. My number 2 is on the writing staff. And Dean directed the hell out of it. It's really just... It's as good as we've got, I think it was, everything came together. Marie was awesome. She really worked her ass off to get, probably more screen time than she's ever had. When I look at that, I feel like we've done this now for 5 years. The team in Vancouver is amazing. Everybody's sort of, all the actors are dialed in. It's really fun to be working on a show now where we know what we're doing, we know, what we can do, we know how far we can push, and I don't try to push too hard, Dean, but ultimately, it's my job to try to challenge everybody so, we can have this sort of epic.
Yeah, I do want to ask more about Die All, Die Merrily, and Marie, what was it like to do that episode? I know you like the physical aspect of the show, but they gave you a lot. Was it just, all right, I'm embracing this, I'm going for it?
Couple things. It really made me realize, wow, I have my dream job. I may never do this again. My first job was McDonald's, cleaning up puke in the ball pit area in the playland. So I was like, yes, I've come a little bit of a long way. Mom, I got to tell you about this. And then another thing was, on top of the, wonderful stunt choreography I had to learn and all that stuff, it was just great because I felt like so many stories came together in Die All, Die Merrily. We had that wonderful Blake moment where Bellamy was rooting for Octavia when nobody else did. I thought that was completely wonderful. Then there was the ultimate betrayal at the end. It's okay, I know you wouldn't do it in real life to me. You always got my back as Eliza. It's just, I felt like so many storylines, came full circle there, and we lost a couple of wonderful characters that are greatly missed. Zach McGowan, and
Nadia Hilker.
Nadia Hilker. Yeah. It's been a long day. It was a wonderful episode to be, I think it just was great television.
You've been pressuring me for some weird hairdo. Do you want to share with them?
No, I don't, but your hair is going to be awesome.
You clearly don't like it.
We've yet to.
I didn't agree to it yet.
I know.
Well, Bob, I had also got a specific, because other people asked about the appearance change, but I got a very specific one from @EternalBaby saying, will Bellamy have a beard or a mustache?
Yeah.
I like the idea of a giant mustache.
Barry's back.
We've been talking about that.
Bring Barry back.
I can't really.
Look like with a mustache. Go.
Oh, you don't? Yes. You look great. It's bring Barry back.
I'd love to have my mustache, but I can't really grow a beard, so we're kind of discussing that now and factoring it into the beard budget.
I'll donate my shaved
We don't have
head
a beard
hair
budget,
so you can
Bob.
make a beard wig.
It sounds morbid, but it's true.
I like how incredibly flawed Octavia is, and she's always brave in the face of fear. I like that about her.
What myth resonates the most with you or your character?
That was a collective oof. Gosh.
Like a
Like a once upon a time myth or like a Greek mythology myth?
anything.
That one because you're like Prometheus.
Yeah, that's my favorite. Next.
Are we all just gonna take the easy way out? And that one? Go, we're all gonna Prometheus.
That's a Blake answer
yeah.
collectively.
What's the
It was such a beautiful
really
question too.
Yeah.
What we're trying to say is you're smarter than all of us.
I was doing the Sanford and Son theme song. I would just take that for Murphy.
What's that?
It matches.
Anyone else have a character theme song?
That's such a hard question.
Born to be wild. Good one, yeah. Come on, I don't know.
Oh,
Man, I don't know.
Alone again. Something like that.
Hey guys, I'm Shalise. Yeah, Marie.
Nice costume.
whoa.
You've got the sigils even.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, my
That's
confirmed kills
amazing.
here.
you're winning.
Yeah, I won.
You won.
I won. My question is actually, since you talked about fighting, I was curious how often you get to rehearse before you fight, what the process is to kind of learn the fights, and then like, I put this on today and this seems hard to fight in. Like, do you get to wear this
How did you do that?
before you actually shot, or was this like step into it and wield the sword kind of thing?
These are very good questions. The cool thing is about sword fighting, to basically put it in a quick nutshell here, is that it's kind of like learning dance. Like you learn a dance routine and that's the way it is, because it's all numbered out and we do it slowly. And I've named all the moves, so I write them down, and when I get home, I was given a wooden sword as a gift, and I just sit in my living room and I practice. So one's called like fillet the salmon. I call another one like it's like silly names, so I remember it, and that's how I memorize my fights. But sometimes you get a ton of time, and sometimes you don't if schedules change and stuff. But you really just, I don't know. I'm really good at a really useless life skill. I'm a good sword fighter now.
Yeah.
There's always
flashbacks with the two of them sort of going through this wasteland that is the.
I love you too. Okay, where were we? Yeah, I think. Hello. I think that it's like it's just a part.
Oh, I can't answer that one. I gotta work with these people. Yeah, it's totally mean. Probably my horse didn't make it, Octavia's horse. Probably, unless Helios came in the bunker. I know. I've been wondering. I'm like, I like riding that horse. So I know a tiny little bit of information, and this is all he's told me for real, is that Octavia, being the commander that doesn't know what the heck she's doing, that the fact that she wanted to have one crew as opposed to just Sky Crew, all of these clans haven't let go of previous animosities. So there's a lot of drama, a lot of beef going on in the
No actual beef.
So in order to keep the peace, in order to keep the riots at a minimum, she's had to come up with a way to reprimand their bad behavior, and apparently it's a pretty brutal way, and that's all I know is that she gets super dark about the repercussions.
I'm glad she's finally getting dark.
Yeah, finally. She's just been so bright from
That's all I know.
up till now.
I've seen it. You and I French kissing.
Someone look at the numbers.
No, I'm bad at math.
Something like that.
Is it you're bad at? Marie's bad at math. Okay, casual counting.
Like, is there another time? What can you give us any hints of like what we can just expect?
Well, we know that answer. Ooh, yeah, I do know the.
Have Marie sitting next to me who plays Octavia, and I feel like your character has evolved so much from the very beginning where we saw her. I often forget that you were sort of introduced to us
An
as this
asshole. It's okay to
Well, I was
admit
gonna say
it.
actually more of like just like the bratty little sister.
Yeah.
You know, and so is it exciting every time you see scripts to see how much more your character evolves time to time?
Yes, because I've really started to enjoy playing Octavia to the extreme as of last season for sure, and I feel like she's really coming into her own and becoming her own woman. She's not the bratty little sister anymore. She's earning respect because nobody ever takes her word for it, so she constantly has to prove herself with her actions versus her words, and she continues to do so, and she's one of the characters that you can't really predict where she's about to go.
Right. What was it that you saw last season that made you? What was that initial moment that you thought, oh, my character really has evolved? Like this is because you said something last season sparked it.
I feel like that's constantly been happening with Octavia because I often couldn't really figure out where she belonged either. You know, I'm like, what's her purpose? Okay, some characters are mechanics or doctors or this. I'm like, what the heck is this girl doing? And then running around and like chasing butterflies and boys, but now she's an assassin and a warrior with a purpose and a leader. So I feel like she has gone from here to here. And there's been this wonderful arc which makes her so much fun to play because it's like playing like 18
things
girls in one body, so it's really fun.
Right.
It's been over 5 years, so it's been a while.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Do you guys get to have conversations still with the writers and talk about where your characters are going to go, or you know, it's interesting to see like which.
I live in Canada, so I
like
just take it when I can get it.
But I feel like a lot of times it's interesting to see like the different relationships between the relationships over time. Like you start spending more time with a different character, you know, that sort of way. Have you noticed that over time, or is it you guys saying, oh, I want to do more scenes with Bellamy, or I want to do more scenes with Monty? How does that sort of work?
I think they do a really good job of pairing us up with people we haven't worked with. We kind of all get a chance to play with each other. Except for me and Marie. But everyone else,
everyone else gets
good.
Yeah, you guys
We've had one scene. One scene.
No.
Really? Washing our hands together.
Oh yeah.
Season 1.
When
That's one of my
you
favorites.
showed up in, we did have one with you where you were doing surgery and you came down the ladder.
Season 1.
So season 1.
Season 1.
And
That's
then
it.
in the tent. So we had like 2 scenes.
You guys two. That's plenty out of almost 5 seasons.
I just had my
like a
first
solo
scene
one.
with Isaiah Washington this season, and that's 4 years later.
Yeah, 4
First
years
one.
later.
Crazy.
That's
Makes
crazy.
sense. We have such great, strong female characters on the show, and they make us better.
Right.
We're hoping we can.
Oh, that was a good answer.
It was. Good man.
I mean,
And then I will shut up now.
but even
Murdering.
Losing a mind.
Being a baller.
I'm worrying about his sister probably.
Stop worrying about her.
The Ravens
What have
from
they added
Texas.
for you?
From Texas
Oh,
Arc.
I've always been pretty much a tomboy, so like the whole like running little sister, kissing boys, running around chasing butterflies is so not me. The
So the
warrior,
badass warrior side.
riding, sports.
Should have been.
You know,
stuff.
stuff. I like the athletic stuff.
Butterflies and running around.
Boy kissing.
Yeah.
At first, of course, I'm going to think that they're foes, and I think a lot of them might be. Great. I'm right. Okay, good. I think at first it will appear that way, but I'm sure that we're going to find out that there might be some friends in there as well.
Yeah.
That's optimistic.
You can always make
I'm an optimistic gal.
You're not jaded.
Okay, Marie,
Yes.
do you think Octavia is ready to lead the rest of humanity?
No.
Why not?
Because she's not a leader, but she was forced into the position. I don't think she thought she could win the conclave, but Bellamy gave her a really good strategy because he believed in her, and she followed through with that. But now it's like bigger. It's a bigger sandwich than she can chew.
That's a big sandwich.
You know what?
That's one big sandwich.
Meatball salad.
I think you can, though. I think you are a leader.
You'll be able to handle it. Richard.
Fun to see everybody before we gear back up for another season. I'm sorry, enjoy your company. And I don't know, getting to meet all
Situation and make it worse, and then it gets worse, and then just when you think Clark can fix it, it gets worse. And
Sorry, guys.
This one's like so adorable and it's just like killing people, like assassinating. I'm like, ugh. Okay.
Sword fighting is a lot of fun. I'm not gonna lie. Useless skill in my real life, but really fun in
You never know.
you never know in life.
I just want to do that.
That was your answer last year.
It's the truth.
Well, you make a
I
really
still haven't
good,
gotten
you
to
make
do
a
it.
great Sailor Moon.
Yeah,
Thank you.
you really would.
Yeah.
Killer.
I'd like to be
It's cool.
Gollum. Yeah.
Marie, you're too attractive.
I don't know. I like the split personality thing of, I'm a Gemini, I can relate.
Elements equal?
Yeah.
Give me your
That's
best.
right.
Give me your best one. Let's do it. Let's hear it.
Why are you looking at me like that? I don't know why I don't mean to. Well, you should.
So, Comic-Con 2018?
Yeah, I want to walk the floor one day.
Yeah, I haven't
Dress
done
up.
it yet. It's been 5
torrential
years.
downpour, raining. Anyways, we live in a rainforest in British Columbia. It's not just a clever name. And then it's wintertime, it's pouring, you're freezing, and then they bring in the rain machines on top of it. So it's like frickin' freezing cold water, just like at Mach speed from fire trucks that they haul in. It's a lot of fun. We dress up good, but we're tough chicks out there.
Yeah. So many.
There's a lot. No.
My first audition ever. I was so nervous. They asked me how old I was, and I was like, my birthday's in 5 months. And they're like, okay, great. How old are you? And I was like, I had no idea my age or my name. I was so nervous. And they said, thank you. Have a nice day. And I didn't even get to audition.
Wow.
I couldn't even speak.
You went
Full nervous mode. Yeah, I was like sweating. This was my favorite season so
So
far.
you are my favorite character this season because the storyline, the transformation is so badass.
Yeah, and it's amazing to see how far she's come from season 1. She was like the most hated, underestimated underdog character at the beginning, and now she's the one that you just want to run into in a back alley, and you look to her for answers, even though she doesn't know what those answers are, because she's definitely not a leader, but she's sort of forced to hit this position.
Now she is.
So I think she would be able to be a little bit more sympathetic towards Clark, because Clark's always the one that had to make the rough calls, and they're kind of flipped now, because Octavia's the leader and Clark's the grounder. It's very interesting.
Do you think Octavia's a little bit jealous of everybody who's up in space and kind of just gets to hang out for a bit?
Yeah, well, Octavia's again under the floor, which isn't where she wants to be. And I think her position, the people up in space and the people in the bunker are both going to be forced with a lot of survival obstacles. It's difficult to survive up in space, but it's also difficult to survive in the bunker with this mixed bag of clans that aren't willing to let go of old resentments towards each other. So Octavia has to come up with a plan to reprimand them for their bad behavior when they fall out of line. So you're going to have to see what, in fact, she does to make sure people keep the peace, keep the order, keep the chaos down and the rioting. And she definitely takes a darker turn in season 5. Yeah, that's what I was told. I don't really know much about season 5, to be honest.
Yeah. Forward to whenever eventually Bellamy and Octavia reunite 6 years later. That's a lot of time to just
Yeah. It's very interesting finally having Bellamy and Octavia separated, because I feel like now she can make her own decisions without Bellamy breathing down her neck about it. And he's always been, sibling rivalry. It's a love-hate thing. He's also her blankie sometimes when she needs it, even if she's being a bit of an asshole about the whole thing. He's always there for her as the older brother. But it'll be interesting to see how the two characters evolve without each other, because they've been together their whole lives.
Thank you guys.
Thank you so much.
Have a great